Grace Hill, or Crimson Viper is the newest character added to Street Fighter 6. Coming from Street Fighter 4, C.Viper boasts an incredible array of special moves that make her an incredibly unique fighter. Possessing high jumps, feints, follow-ups, and tackles, C.Viper is perhaps the most technical character ever added to Street Fighter 6. While I know her move list isn't the reason why most of you probably want to play her, I want to show you that Viper can be pretty engaging and less challenging than you think as long as you get a good grasp of her moves. After all, I'm learning this character for the first time too. C.Viper can best be described as a rushdown character. She's got a great drive rush and incredibly fast buttons. However, unlike other rushdown characters like, say, Cammy, who can just rely on her low forward to start combos, Viper's entire game plan is built around her special moves. Said special moves are really what define her as a character, so let's just jump into that. Neutral and special on Modern, or quarter circle back kicks on Classic, gives you focus force. Viper charges up a barrier that can absorb one hit or just be released in order to deal damage. Can also be charged up to give you a crumple state if the opponent is caught lacking. Forward and special on Modern, or quarter circle back punch on Classic, gives you Thunder Dash. In all variations, Viper does a quick punch with her electric glove. Light just scoots her forward and leaves the opponent standing. Medium does a little bit more damage and also leaves the opponent standing. And heavy is actually an uppercut that can hit the opponent out of the air. This is going to be your main way of anti-airing. These moves also have follow-ups, including doing forward and 2 punches to add an extra hit at the end. Almost all of Viper's special moves have follow-ups in some way. This is called Tracer Combination, and while it can add extra damage and better pressure, no, it will cost you 1 bar of drive gauge. Thunder Dash is also the first ability that features Viper's signature mechanic, feints. By pressing light after doing the input, Viper will feint the startup of the move, allowing it to completely cancel itself out. While this might look useless, this is one of the most important aspects of playing Viper. Using feints during pressure or even during combos can allow you to open up the character in a way you didn't even think was possible. Back and special on Modern, or quarter circle forward kick on Classic, gives you Burning Kick. Viper lunges forward and does a flaming split kick that's really good at controlling space and ending combos. This move also has 2 follow-ups, Knuckled Pursuit and Double Burn. Knuckled Pursuit is done by doing 2 punches and is a way of adding extra damage to combos, and Double Burn is done by adding 2 kicks and is a way of adding frame advantage if the opponent blocks this move. You should note this move can also be performed in the air by pressing either special on Modern or quarter circle forward kick on Classic. Down special on Modern or Z motion on Classic gives you Seismic Hammer. This is a ground pound that gradually moves further across the screen depending on what button you press. This is your main combo tool, and look, I'm going to get into combos later, but just remember this move for that, okay? Seismic Hammer can also be feinted by pressing kick. Viper's last special move is really her main gimmick, high jump. By pressing down and then up, Viper will lunge forward into the air, jumping higher than any other character can. This move will cost 1 bar of drive gauge, but you should know, high jump can be cancelled out of any single move that Viper has, even moves that aren't drive cancelable. This is going to be very important because one of the things you'll notice very quickly when picking up Viper is that she doesn't have a lot of drive cancelable moves. This is created by design because while her long legs make her medium kicks very good, fortunately you can't drive rush off of them. But you can special cancel into high jump, which can also be cancelled. For instance, allowing you to do things like standing medium kick into high jump cancel into Seismic Hammer. There's a reason why people on Twitter are saying this character turns your hands into a pretzel. Her level 1 super is Limit Decoupler. This is done by performing double quarter circle forward kick on Classic, or forward heavy and special on Modern. Viper does a flipping uppercut strike with her legs that does good damage, but also adds an install that slowly ticks down over your super meter. While in this install, Viper can do high jump and her special follow-ups without consuming any drive gauge. Her level 2 super is Mission Complete. This is done by performing double quarter circle back punch on Classic, or back special and heavy on Modern. A quick sequence of hitting the opponent with her fire and lightning gadgets that does good damage. Viper's level 3 is Hard Look Rejector. This is done by performing quarter circle back kicks on Classic, or down heavy and special on Modern. Viper hits the opponent and then goes into a cinematic where she punches them a couple times in the chest. They try and counterattack, but she pins them and then launches off her high heels. She then slams them back into the ground with 1 punch and blows the dust off her knuckle. If you're a beginner and looking for Viper combos, you're probably going to see that there's a lot of complicated combos. People like posting really absurd tech, and while I think that can be fun, it's not really informative for beginners. Instead of worrying about max optimization, full drive gauge spending, high jump cancel feint combos, I think it's better to give you a simple starting line to figure out how to think about comboing with Viper. First thing to note is if you need a simple light combo, just go into Heavy Thunder Dash. This is your only way to confirm into a special without spending drive gauge, and it gives you pretty good Oki. If you do want to spend it a bit more, Viper's a bit complicated because unlike a lot of other characters who can just spam drive rush cancel to extend combos, what she really wants to do is be spending her drive gauge on high jump cancels and EX moves. For instance, crouching heavy punch is going to be your big damage dealer since it does the most damage and allows you to cancel into seismic hammer without spending any drive gauge. This is fine enough on its own, but by spending a high jump cancel at the end, you can actually convert this into an air combo. Just simply jump up to follow and do medium aerial burning kick. You can even use this high jump cancel to cancel out of moves that wouldn't otherwise be cancelable. Wow, I said cancel a lot there, didn't I? I mentioned earlier that her medium kicks are very good, but unfortunately they aren't drive cancelable. But you can cancel them into the startup of high jump, which can be canceled into other special moves. This should form the foundation of how you think about comboing with Viper. Seismic Hammer high jump cancel can allow you to do simple things, and if you want to get a little bit crazier, you can cancel high jump into Seismic Hammer into high jump cancel. This is all very expensive, but it looks really cool as well. This is all going to seem really daunting. How am I supposed to wrap my head around Seismic Hammer, high jump cancel, canceling normals into high jump cancel, which cancels into specials? What you really need to focus on is optimizing one route off of your high jump. For instance, Seismic Hammer into high jump, medium, aerial burning kick. Or stand medium, high jump cancel, Seismic Hammer. The goal here isn't to teach you immediately how to do all these complex combos, it's to gradually build up to them by integrating the muscle memory of doing the cancels. Viper has some of the best damage in the game once you get her harder combos down, as well as having incredibly fast and long-reaching buttons that make her a rushdown menace. She's also one of the most unique characters in the game, possessing high jump cancels and feints and all kinds of special follow-ups that are really going to overwhelm opponents who aren't used to dealing with her. However, she is the single most executionally demanding character in the game, and she lacks a lot of traditional assets that make a top tier. She may have a throw loop and good pressure in the corner, but she doesn't have a drive cancel below forward or a projectile. Like any good spy, you really need to exploit your opponent's weaknesses and wait for the opportunities that they give you. Look for burning kick openings or times to hit them with Seismic Hammer. And as a beginner, be okay with simply poking them with your superior buttons, even if you can't confirm into massive damage. As long as you're remembering to try to practice the high jump cancels and Seismic Hammer combos, those little pokes will eventually turn into big damage. Just make sure your gadgets are fully charged and show them what it means to be untraceable with C.Viper.